There exists a type of creature in the world that has been sighted by only a few, yet its existence remains unverified. These creatures are collectively referred to as unidentified mysterious animals. Hello everyone and welcome to the World in 10 Minutes series. Africa is a land of wonder with its exceptional tropical rainforest environment, providing the perfect habitat for many large animals. Similarly, the continent is home to countless mysterious creatures like the Jabberwocky Congo and the legendary Makili Mbembe, all of which conjure up imagery of massive and ferocious beings. Today we'll explore another legendary African cryptid, the Mahamba, a colossal crocodile rumored to inhabit the Congo region. The Mahamba is said to be a giant crocodile exceeding 50 feet, 50 meters in length. Its behavior and appearance closely resemble that of the Nile crocodile, but its extraordinary size sets it apart. Imagine encountering a crocodile as long as a 5-story building. It's a terrifying concept. The exact origin of the name Mahamba is unclear, but one user on Reddit suggested that in some South African languages, the word Mahamba means to walk or to leave. In Khoiso, for instance, Mahamba can be translated to let's leave or with emphasis, let's run away. This might explain the name, seeing such a creature would certainly inspire flight. One of the earliest written accounts of the Mahamba comes from the late 19th century, recorded by Belgian explorer John Reinhard Werner, who accompanied Sir Henry Morton Stanley on an expedition to the Congo. In his 1889 book Visiting Stanley's Rearguard, Werner recounts an encounter with a giant crocodile on the Congo River in September to October 1887. Here is an excerpt from Werner's description, slightly modified for clarity. The impact of the propeller forced the crocodiles in the river to retreat hastily. These monstrous creatures, disturbed during their midday rest, seemed aware of what was coming and left in advance. Occasionally, we could spot a massive crocodile on the low sandy spits along the grassy edges of the riverbank. Some appeared to be 50 feet long, perhaps longer. Once, while hunting ducks on a large sandbank, I captured one. The rest hid behind the low sand dunes. I crouched and crept along the edge, thinking I was within shooting range. When I raised my head, I saw the ducks just 50 yards away. But then I noticed something between me and the ducks, the largest crocodile I had ever seen. Comparing it to the AIA steamboat anchored 300 yards away, I estimated its length to be 50 feet. Its serrated back rose from the sand to a height of 4 feet, revealing its enormous girth. I only had a shotgun with me and had already sent a native boy back for my rifle. While waiting, I observed the crocodile carefully. It either didn't notice me or was asleep. Using maritime terms, I was positioned off its right forequarter, out of its line of sight. I cautiously avoided its massive tail. Eventually, I grew impatient as the boy was taking too long to return. The ducks took flight, spooked by my movement. Frustrated, I fired wildly at the ducks, missing entirely. The sound startled the giant lizard and it fled into the water. Its massive tail swept sand everywhere as it escaped. The Mahamba, if real, represents an unusually large crocodilian species. However, no known crocodiles today grow anywhere near 50 feet in length. The largest recorded Nile crocodile was just under 20 feet, while prehistoric species like Sarcosuchus, 40 feet long, come closer to Mahamba's rumored size. Although Werner's account aligns with some features of known crocodiles, its size remains a point of contention. In February 1888, John Reinhard Werner's expedition continued down the Congo River, departing from Leopoldville, modern-day Kinshasa, the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo, with supplies heading toward the Bangla region. A few days after passing Pluru Island, Werner and his team encountered another massive crocodile. Here's Werner's account, slightly adapted for clarity. We suddenly came upon a sandbank where the water was only about 3 feet deep. The steamboat's engine had already stopped, but the bow of our vessel remained embedded in the sand. At this point, the sand beneath the boat began to rise and fall, and the water started to ripple in an unusual manner. I searched for the cause of these disturbances, thinking we might have struck a hippopotamus. However, the water was clearly too shallow to conceal one. Then I saw a giant crocodile suddenly burst out of the sandbank, fleeing into the deeper water beyond. I am certain its length exceeded 40 feet, far longer than our vessel. I had never seen a crocodile of such immense size move so quickly. I didn't even have time to raise my gun. It must have heard the boat approaching and tried to return to deeper water, but was struck and pinned in the sand by our ship, which was moving at 4 miles per hour. In the brief moment it surfaced, I saw no injuries on its body. Its massive size and agility were astonishing. In the 1980s, biologists Roy Mackal, University of Chicago, Richard Greenwell, University of Arizona, and Congolese biologist Marceline Agnana launched 2 expeditions into the Congo Rainforest, seeking the legendary Mokele Mbembe, a supposed living dinosaur. Their book, A Living Dinosaur in Search of Mokele Mbembe, also includes reports of other mysterious creatures, including the Mahamba. Their Lingala-speaking local guides reported sightings of a massive crocodile species over 15 meters, 50 feet long. In Lingala, the local word for crocodile is koli, and the guides were adamant that the Mahamba was not a dinosaur-like creature, like a Mokele Mbembe, but a distinct species of crocodilian much larger than the Nile crocodile. The Mahamba is described as resembling a typical crocodile, but significantly larger, with a reported length exceeding 50 meters, egg-laying like other crocodiles, predatory, attacking livestock and humans near lakeshores, capable of digging subterranean tunnels extending up to 1 kilometer, with dens at the ends for shelter. Mackal's book primarily draws on Werner's accounts, but it also highlights the consistent testimonies of local guides. To put the Mahamba's reported size into perspective, let's examine some of the largest known crocodilians. In 2013, a video filmed near Blairport, India, showed a massive saltwater crocodile resting on a sandbank. Its estimated length was 20 to 30 feet, 6 to 9 meters. Saltwater crocodiles are the largest living reptiles. Males typically reach 3 to 6 meters, with larger specimens occasionally documented. Famous individuals like Lo Long from the Philippines and Yai from Thailand have pushed the limits, but even their sizes don't exceed 7 meters. By comparison, Werner's Mahamba was reportedly twice as large as the largest known saltwater crocodiles. Reports of 12 to 15-meter crocodiles from regions like southern India, the Sunda Islands, and the New Guinea remain unverified. The Nile crocodile, though smaller than saltwater crocodiles, is still the most likely candidate for the Mahamba. Other African crocodilian species, such as the slender-snouted crocodile, are far too small to account for the Mahamba reports. While Nile crocodile may serve as the most plausible inspiration for the Mahamba, its reported size far exceeds any confirmed specimens. Whether the Mahamba represents a new species, a prehistoric remnant, or simply an exaggerated legend, its tales continue to fuel the imaginations of adventurers and cryptid enthusiasts. In African folklore, animals with unusually large or small sizes are often given special names, though from a zoological standpoint, they may not represent distinct species. According to Professor Roy Mackal, the Mahamba might simply be an exceptionally large Nile crocodile, reaching its size due to age and environmental factors. For example, the Lepida, another legendary crocodilian, is reported in northern Angola, particularly around the Chumbe River in Congo Valley. Swiss naturalist Albert Monard documented reports of leopard sightings in the 1930s and 1940s. Locals claimed that only 2 to 3 leopard existed in the region. These crocodiles were known to hide underwater, surfacing briefly between 9 to 10 a.m. or just before sunset, and were particularly active during rainstorms. Leopard reported attacked livestock such as pigs and cattle, and even humans. Compared to ordinary Nile crocodiles, the leopard had larger mouths, wider throats, closer eye spacing. Despite these claims, Monard believed the leopard was simply a particularly large Nile crocodile, measuring 13 to 20 feet, significant but far smaller than the Mahamba. Cryptozoologist Bernard Holverman suggested a cautious approach, emphasizing the need for physical evidence like skin or skull samples to determine whether the Mahamba is indeed a distinct species. Similarly, Marco theorized that the Mahamba might be a surviving species of the Deinosuchus, a giant crocodile from the Cretaceous period. Deinosuchus characteristics: true crocodilians closely related to modern alligators and caimans, reach lengths of up to 10.6 meters 35 feet, lived about 82 to 73 million years ago. However, this theory is speculative as Deinosuchus fossils are predominantly found in North America, with no evidence of their presence in Africa. From my perspective, while the existence of the Mahamba cannot be completely dismissed, its likelihood is relatively low. Werner's accounts describe crocodiles exceeding 50 meters, 50 feet in length, allegedly common in the Congo River basin. However, apart from Werner's and Marco's sources, there are few recorded sightings of such massive creatures. Given the colonial era's emphasis on trophy hunting, such a creature would have been a prized target, yet reports ceased by the 19th century. Crocodilian growth rates slow significantly as they age. According to herpetologist Romulus Whitaker, a crocodile's head width increases faster than body length as it matures. This results in their linear growth slowing while bulk growth accelerates, making larger crocodiles more massive but also less agile. This raises doubts about Werner's observation of a fast-moving giant crocodile, which contradicts the biological tendency for larger crocodilians to become cumbersome. The most plausible explanation remains visual distortion. At a distance, it is challenging for the human eye to accurately estimate size, especially in the absence of reference points. This theory aligns with modern video evidence, where large crocodiles often appear bigger than they are due to perspective or camera angles. That said, Werner's proximity to the Mahamba during his encounters adds weight to the possibility of its existence. If his records are accurate, the Mahamba could represent a new crocodilian species distinguished from the Nile crocodile by its exceptional size and potential behavioral differences. Living deep within the dense Congo rainforest, it might remain elusive, hidden from modern science. The Mahamba may yet be a legend, a case of misidentification, or a biological anomaly, but until physical evidence emerges, its mystery will persist. As always, the unknown outweighs the known, and this is what makes unidentified mysterious animals so captivating. That concludes this episode. Thank you for watching.